Hey everybody, this is Muffin with the Daily Biker Podcast. Just here to let y'all know the opinions and ideas expressed in this show are those of the hosts and their guests, not to be confused with their partners and sponsors. Now, let's get it on.
Hey guys, this is Sean from the Bikes and Beards YouTube channel, and you guys are listening to the Daily Biker Podcast. You're gonna love it.
It's simple.
Just voice. This camera's pointed at me. There's no camera.
There is no camera.
Okay.
There's no camera.
So that would be weird if I was like sitting like this.
This is going to be the first visual component of the podcast. It's just you looking at the camera from 2 feet away.
Or like from my nose down.
So, hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Biker Podcast. My name is Marcus. I am your clueless leader, and today we're going to go on a learning journey. So, of course, like always, it won't be on the next one.
No, not on the next one.
But I do have Daniel with me.
I'm here.
Muffin's sitting at home. She said traffic was too bad. She didn't want
Really? There was no traffic when I was going home.
At 2 o'clock?
No, I came straight from work to here.
Yeah, okay. Excuses. Lies.
I actually worked today.
Lies.
I got to work for my vacations.
But Daniel, we have a special guest with us today.
We do.
We have Theresa.
Hi.
Okay, so she's like, hey, stop. So, this should be a fairly interesting episode. Theresa, we work together. So you come to us by way of California,
Yes.
and you are our service manager
Yes.
here at White Lightning Harley Davidson. This is White Lightning Harley Davidson. We are actually at the store today, but this podcast is brought to you by White Lightning Harley Davidson. So technically, we are on the mobile studio,
At the official studio.
but at the official studio.
For once.
I guess that's how it goes sometimes. But anyways, so Theresa, we're going to bring you into some more podcasts down the road and stuff to talk a little bit about general overall builds as well as kind of what we do here at the shop. Because we have a lot of exciting things that are going on here, and I don't think people realize it. We can put it out there on social media every day, and even still you have the people that they don't see it. They don't realize it. They don't know what we're doing. But so kind of before we end up going down that path, I want people to kind of know who you are. Because a lot of people don't know who you are. You're new to Chattanooga. 2 months?
March. So
Okay. 3 months?
3 months.
Yeah.
So, and you made the horrible choice of moving downtown.
I
Why
like
would you
it.
do that?
Because I came from LA and I felt like moving downtown
Oh.
would be a better transition for me. I like walking
The
places.
downtown
and-
atmosphere.
Yeah, I like walking places and
Makes
Yeah, not
sense. No, I avoid it. I have to work downtown, so
Uh-huh.
I choose not to go down there.
yeah.
I do everything in my possibility to leave.
So
At the end of the day, I'm so happy.
I mean, when I drive around downtown, it's like, oh, I've never been there, and I've never been there, and I've got to go there. And I have a list of stuff started.
So what's
Well,
next
you-
on the list?
I don't know.
You've only been here since March, so everywhere you drive downtown is like, oh, I've never been there, never been there, never been
I
there.
know. So there's so much for me to do and explore and eat.
I tell you, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you now. Anybody that's in the area, something that me and my wife like to do. We haven't done it in a couple of years. We used to go to Taco Mac downtown, so they have a pretty nice seating area that's right on the road, and we would sit there and just people watch while sitting at Taco Mac because there's also a couple nightclubs right there too.
Mm-hmm.
So people watch all the people at the nightclubs, and it's really fun to do during Riverbend because you see all the people walking into Riverbend and then walking out of Riverbend.
Yeah. So I live right by Finley Stadium, and they
Okay.
had this huge country concert down there. And so I come home from work, and there's no parking, so I had to park in the parking garage that night, which is no big deal, whatever. So only one and only time that happened. So I see all these people walking, in their cute little skirts and cowboy boots, and
They gotta get dressed up.
excited, and everybody's. I walk past, a group of girls, and they smell like coconuts, and they're ready to go. They're ready for the. I think it was. Is it Chris Brown? Who's the country artist that's from here? That's from
Kane Brown.
Kane Brown. It was Kane Brown. So Chris Brown. That's not a country singer.
I was just going to let you roll with
Yeah. So,
No, I think he's a boxer.
so
Oh, no, that was bad. That was bad. I don't even make that joke
Oh, that
in
was a
public.
good one.
So then I think I can hear the show from my place, open up the balcony, and they had fireworks and stuff. But at the end of the show, when everybody was drunk and like falling down, I just sat on that balcony and people watched for hours, getting back to their car. It was great. So I like it down there.
Well, I say down where you live, you have a few event venues that are down there, lots of bars that stay open late. So I'm sure you get to see all kinds of people walking around in the
down
evening.
there.
Yep.
Where you're right by Southside also.
Yeah, but guess what problem that poses for me? I don't have a garage to put my motorcycle in.
That is true.
Now I just bought 2 motorcycles.
You do have a garage.
It's
It's
by...
just at 7720 Lee Highway.
Yeah, that's not, no.
Well, just start
It's
using
nowhere
this
close
like
to
everybody
home.
else does.
Oh, she does already.
I want to ride my bike to work every day. I don't want to ride it, for, it's my
Are
day
you on
off.
ground level? You can't.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, you know-
on a ground level.
Speaking of,
You have an elevator?
Yeah.
We can make this happen.
speaking of your 2 motorcycles,
Yeah.
one of them is thinking outside the box.
Yeah. A little bit. She's a little different.
So you're building a club style bike out of a 2022 Heritage Softail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
And, we were talking about it earlier about why you chose to go that route. Can you elaborate on that some more?
Yeah, I specifically chose that bike because how many lowrider S's can we possibly build the exact same way or very, very similar? And street bobs and road, we just build the same thing over and over. And that's okay. If that's what you want on your bike, that's cool. But that's not what I wanted on mine. And there's so much cool shit that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything, but you have to be willing to look for it. So
Think out of the box.
yeah, so I took the bags off the bike, I changed the seat out, I put T-bars on, I have to figure out what we're gonna do with the lighting on it. And it's not anything crazy. It's not like a wild build by any means.
It wouldn't be, I'm going to say, it wouldn't be too crazy to leave those lights on the front. It might be cool and
It
different.
just looks pretty wide. I did the Bassani black chrome exhaust, which is
Yeah.
cool. I think I'm gonna try to get the CVO pushrod tubes because they come in that black chrome as well. So
I just wish we could get your intake that same color.
no, I
I just
like.
feel like that little trifecta there, though, would look dope.
Yeah, I think it might be too much though, but. So I also pulled the front fender off and I'm having a Softail slim fender because it's chopped, it doesn't have that trim on it. So
Yeah. By the way, I do have something for you for your tail license plate situation.
okay.
So, how long have you been working in the motorcycle industry? I don't know if you've always been with Harley Davidson.
Since 2009. I've been with Harley Davidson since 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
13 years.
I started I answered a Craigslist ad. I was tired of bartending. And I answered a Craigslist ad to be, they called it an events coordinator, but it was not an events coordinator. I was the girl who hung the flyer up on the door and I put the bowl of chips out when we had events. And then I ran an eBay store. They had an abundance of obsolete parts and stuff. So I just, listed parts on eBay all day long and
So a whole lot of
Put chips
Evo
out.
parts.
yeah. Well, this was in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, so we were also a Polaris dealer. So that was a lot of
That's an interesting
Oh,
Glenwood
combination.
Springs, Colorado.
Glenwood Springs, Colorado. That
That
dealer-
is one of my most favorite towns in the world.
It's
I think we might have had this
it's a
conversation
pretty cool
before.
place. Yeah, it was.
But I didn't know that you were working there.
Yeah, I worked at. It was called Aspen Valley Harley Davidson, and then
I feel like it should have been called
changed the
like Doc
name.
Holiday Harley.
We changed the name to Doc Holiday Harley.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
So anybody that doesn't know Glenwood Springs, though, that is where Doc Holiday, the sanatorium that he went to, the sanatorium that he passed away at. And he's buried in Glenwood Springs.
Yep, it's a really cool little town. Tons of phenomenal riding. The dealership was right on the Colorado River. Like I could look out the window and look into it.
It's so awesome. And what's cool too, when we went out there, we camped 15 minutes outside of town.
Yeah.
And you would never know that you're 15 minutes outside of town.
Yeah.
So,
So started there. I was doing that job, and then the motor clothes manager went to a dealer show, which is where they go and they pick out all of the clothes that they're going to buy for next season. She got super drunk and got into a physical altercation with a dealer principal at a competitive store. So she was fired.
Yeah, I can't imagine that would do well for your job.
Right. So it was a very small store. So it was that motor clothes manager and a one associate, and she was brand new. She'd been there for like a week. So I'm downstairs doing my thing, and I had a little office, that I worked at. And this poor girl, she had no direction. We didn't have a general manager. We didn't have any on-site high-level manager there. It was just a whole bunch of departmental managers. So this poor girl had no direction. She didn't know what to do. So I just kind of started to help, and I figured out, well, we gotta place orders. So I just started working in that role, and pretty soon I was doing everything like the manager. So I called the owners that were in Florida that would come out to visit like literally once a year. And I said, look, I'm doing this job. I'm doing the motor clothes manager job. So you need to give me the title and the money. And they did. So I started doing that. And then I got really frustrated with them. I was like this close to getting out of Harley Davidson. I was like, because there was no management or direction there. Wherever I work, no matter every job that I've ever had, I really, really care about the place that I work. I care about the reputation. I care about the quality that we put out. I worked for my sister in a pizza joint and cared when somebody would give us a bad review. It's like, oh.
Sometimes that's what you have to do. Unfortunately, that's something that doesn't exist much anymore with most people. So you're an oddity.
So I wasn't having a great time there because I felt like I was one of the few that actually cared, and the store had a horrible reputation. Long story short, they hired a general manager who had been in the Harley Davidson training arena for a long time, very reputable, knows what he's doing, right? So he came in and he tipped the dealership on its head. He put in all of the processes that he trains on and does, and so things started getting better, and I was like, awesome. This is great. We have some direction. We have somebody who cares. But I was literally about 3 months from moving to Denver. I'm just stopping Harley Davidson altogether because I was so frustrated. And so then he starts working with me, and he starts looking at my inventory. He's like, man, you know how to manage your inventory well up here. Your inventory is clean. You're going to be my parts manager. And I was like, what? I don't know anything about parts. I don't know anything about motorcycles.
So at this point, you weren't riding?
No.
Okay. That's
So I've ridden dirt bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't have my own bike at this point.
Okay.
So, but very soon after I got my first Sportster, and then I started riding. Started riding street bikes. So anyway, then I'm the parts manager, and then I'm working in service, and then I just kind of bounced around the store and did everything. And he did a review with me one time, and he was like, what do you want to do? You told me that when I got here, you were probably going to leave to go to Denver. Are you still going to do that, or what's up? And I was like, well, no, I'm kind of having fun now. And where do I see myself going, and what do I want to do with my career? I want your job. He's the general manager. He was like, perfect, because we're buying more stores, and I got to go open them. And so I was groomed up into a general management position at that store. It was a very small store, and they started buying more stores, and they bought one in Ohio, then they went to San Jose, and the San Jose store is a monster. When we bought that store, it was the DAT, which is the dealer assigned territory, was like 1.6 million people. Just for us.
Wow.
So we have a listener out of San Jose. That's where I got the San Jose Harley t-shirt.
I don't have any more San Jose Harley t-shirts. I could get one, but so anyway, they asked me to go out to San Jose and help them do their full physical inventory, because I was very strong in the fixed ops side of things. So come out, help us do the inventory, train the parts and service people to do what they need to do, and you'll be done. Stay out there for a week or two. So got out there, and they were like, no, this thing is a monster. This is going to take a long time to get it turned around. So they asked me to stay through the end of the year. This was in November. And then by the end of the year, they said, we want you to move here and be the assistant general manager, work with Scott, and just help him get you work on the back of the house, and you can work on the front. So I did that for a year with him, and then we bought another store. The GM went away, so then I was the GM of San Jose Harley. And then some things went awry there, and I left, and I went to work in Morgan Hill. That's where I met Sean and Kate and everybody. And then from there, I went to LA. I was a GM there. So I've been, after I was assistant GM, after GM, and I had a less than desirable experience in LA at the store that I worked at. And I was, again, ready to get out of Harley Davidson altogether. I was going to go be a service writer at Lamborghini in LA and just worry about my own thing, And Sean and I have stayed in touch throughout the years. He knew what was going on, and he just called me one day, and he's like, T, He's like, I know you probably have other job offers and you want to be a GM, but I need a service manager. I'd love to work with you again. And then I took about 2 weeks and thought about it and went into a depression because I really didn't want to leave LA. I loved it.
Yeah. I mean, coming to Chattanooga from LA, you're moving across the country there.
Oh, yeah.
That's because you've never been on the East Coast.
Correct.
But how are you liking Chattanooga?
I love it.
Everybody that comes here from the West Coast and experiences Chattanooga, they're like, I love Chattanooga. Because it's, it's not a big city. But it kind of has that big city.
Town.
Yeah, it kind of has like a little bit of a big city feel. Like there's always kind of something going on. It's like it doesn't matter what night of the week. If you want to go watch a band play, you can go watch a band play.
TV's always on.
Yeah. There's always traffic for no reason at all.
Yeah. When you want a big show or something, you've got Atlanta and Nashville right there.
Absolutely.
Nothing to go.
Yeah, we're kind of right in the middle of everything. If you want nature, wilderness, trees, woods, all that stuff, you have that. If you want to go to Nashville, Atlanta, you have that. You know, it's a nice, we're very centralized here.
Well, I'm taking, so I know you'll be with us, but September, for the September dealer ride, we're going back to the Skyway and to the Dragon.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Teresa's going to go with us.
Oh.
Well, she's never been.
Oh.
She hasn't been out here, so she hasn't done any riding or anything.
Depending on the traffic, it'll be a nice day.
That is true. That's true. Imagine. I know out there y'all are riding. What was it? Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive, and then you've got in Colorado, you've got $1 Million Highway, which is so bad.
Well, I don't know much about $1 Million Highway, but I know with Mulholland Drive, you either have everybody and their brother want to go down it. Mm-hmm. Or it's like paradise.
Yes.
That's how the Dragon is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's either going to be nobody or
slammed.
everybody.
And if you're going on a weekend, it's going to be slammed. Most like it usually is.
But the Skyway is not. And the Skyway is so much better.
Yes.
That's my bread and butter is the Skyway. That is what my bike was built for. Is for like riding the Skyway.
Traveling the speed limit on the Skyway.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
At the speed limit.
Okay.
At the speed limit.
I'm excited.
Which we didn't know.
The speed limit is 45.
Yeah.
Yes, going the speed limit. I've already said it. The statute of limitations is up. So, let me ask you this. It's kind of the elephant in the room.
Don't talk about me.
And in this day and age, obviously, things have changed. But when you went into being a general manager, how many female general managers were there?
Not very many. Not very many.
I mean, I don't think there's very many now.
No.
I don't know any.
No, I do.
Know.
There's.
Well, y'all probably all in like a Facebook group.
Shut up. Come on. Oh my God. Did you see?
I'm in a marketing Facebook group for Harley.
Are you really?
Yeah.
But that's different. That's a category of your work. That's not. That's all the girls get together. Girl, GS.
That's what he says when he gets in the group.
That is what I say when I get in the group.
No, they're a handful, I would say.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's that number when it comes to parts managers is probably substantially more than the general managers. There's probably less service managers, but still a bit more than there is general managers.
Yeah.
And I think it's only because that game for so long was dominated by the men. Mm-hmm. But I feel like some people don't understand as a general manager or as a service manager, yeah, you kind of do need to know motorcycles.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter how well you know the bike. You got to know the ins and outs of every single little thing in that business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think some people don't necessarily realize that. There's too many people that are going, oh, I know everything about the bikes. Yeah, but you don't know anything about business.
Right. So you have to know something about every department.
Yeah.
When you're a general manager, and it's a big stress.
Well,
you know?
and I will say you do, because I mean, I come to you and I talk to you about marketing stuff, and then I deal with the website and we talk about that type of stuff, and we work together on making sure that everything is taken care of with the picturing for our sales department.
Yeah. So I can literally do every single job in the dealership, period, except for work on bikes. But I mean, I've I've done some stuff.
Well, that's.
I mean,
so,
You have to, I
yeah, you
guess.
kind of have to, especially
So
with
I
you
have-
modifying yours.
I have worked in every department except for finance and turning wrenches at the Harley shop. Not necessarily at this dealership, but at the other dealership that I used to work at. I was in there. I got thrown into every single department, and then I've worked for a Honda dealership as well, where I also handled with sales and e-commerce and doing marketing, and then parts and service there as well. So, yeah, it's
I assembled bikes out of a crate in a Yamaha dealership.
it's
It's not my only dealership experience.
it's rather interesting to see, like, the dynamics when you go from like parts to motor clothes or motor clothes to parts, how different yet how similar it is. Because it's like, oh, well, you're dealing with this and you're dealing with that. But on an overarching scale, it's just your item is a different item.
Yeah.
What you're doing is still the same. Marketing is a little bit different and those types of things, and your customer's a little bit different, but I don't think people quite look at it that way.
I think it's so interesting how no matter what dealership you go to, the departments always have the same tiffs. There's always the same, rivalries. Sales and service are always, service always.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like every single Harley shop parts is nothing but the old guys.
No, that's not true. No,
That's just true here.
that's just true
That's true
here.
here.
Not every parts department is the geriatric wing.
It's also true at our sister store too.
No,
It's
that's
okay.
not
None
true.
of them will ever hear this.
They don't know how to operate a podcast.
So yeah, but you have those same animosities. The sales department doesn't think service works fast enough, and service is like, sales is always cramming everything up.
Yeah.
At the last minute, and parts it's all the same. Period. It's all
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I feel like you'd find that anywhere, though.
Yeah.
Any type of dealership at the dealership level.
Yep.
But I feel like, you said shortly after 2009, so we're talking like 10 or 11 when you started riding.
Mhm.
I feel like in that time period, though, and it might be like a forced learning thing, you seem to have gathered a wealth of knowledge when it comes to motorcycles, not just Harleys.
Mostly Harley. I
but I
have
mean,
not
we've discussed
educated
a
myself.
couple other, but they're super well known.
Yeah.
things.
No, I've not really gone out of my comfort zone and educated myself on others because I never, to be honest, I never could see myself working in another place like that.
Yeah.
I could see myself owning other brands because there's other models that
Well,
but-
I think for us, for me and for you, for realistically anybody working in our dealership or working in any dealership, whether it's a Harley Davidson dealership or another brand, it's a advantage to know other brands. Because if somebody comes in here and they're talking to a salesman and they're looking at an ultra classic and they go, well, I'm also looking at a Goldwing. If that salesman doesn't know jack about Goldwings, it's going to be very hard to.
Yeah. Are you familiar
To
with
handle
the
it.
Harley's Back to the Track training that they do?
I'm not sure if I know
So Harley does Back to the Track, and they don't run it all the time, but it's a course that you can take. They send you to Vegas to the speedway there,
that. I do know.
and they
what you're talking
have
about
the
now.
whole Harley Davidson lineup, representation.
Okay.
It works for every model, and then they have the competitive brand, the equivalent
Yeah.
in other brands. And so you would ride, you'd ride like a Sportster and then you'd ride a Scout and you would ride them back to back. So you'd go ride the Sportster around the same exact course and then you'd get on the Scout. So you
Yeah.
could speak to the other model so you know
Interesting.
what your customer is touching and feeling.
That's actually a good thing.
It was awesome.
I'm surprised they don't do that more often. I feel like that'd be great for salespeople, at least a
Yeah.
general manager.
Well,
just have
I
that
will
knowledge.
say when they dropped the Pan America,
Yeah,
they did do that. They had several other ADV brands
yeah,
that were at these meetups, which they didn't do the back to the track. They did it a little bit different. because of COVID and stuff like that. So they toured around the country, and like here we went up to Maryville to the dealer up there, and me and Keith went, and we just rode the Pan America so we could get our impression of it. But we had a couple salesmen, and I think
He didn't want to
tech
ride
or two.
anything else.
Actually, I had rode everything else that they had available, but they did the whole riding of everything back to back.
Yeah.
So
It was very beneficial to be able to speak to things like, fit and finish.
Mhm.
Instead of just saying, "Oh, your Goldwing sucks."
Yeah, or like how the controls work. What
Right.
what features do you have on this versus that one?
Yeah.
Things, and you have that tactile experience
Yeah.
with it, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's hard to armchair talk about another brand.
Right,
Well-
and especially if I know you told me that you've test ridden an Indian or a BMW or something, I can speak to that bike.
Yeah.
Say, hey man, okay, you've ridden this Indian over here. Come sit on this bike and just tell me that these controls don't feel better,
Mhm.
because the R&D that Harley Davidson puts into their bikes, just and a lot of these things, the fit and finish is just that was a huge thing for those.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
That compared.
I have, Daniel doesn't have any Harleys. It's not that there's not any he doesn't want, because there is some that he.
I don't have any room in the
admires.
garage. I don't have any room in the garage.
There
right
is
now.
2 that he would very much like to have, but there's just something about it. I could sit here and explain or do my best to explain it all day long, but still, you don't quite. No one's going to ever quite grasp the concept of what it is to own Harley until you own Harley. So
I mean, sometimes my KZ doesn't start, and it leaks a little bit of oil.
I've never had either of those situations with any of the Harleys I've ever owned.
But you've owned all the new ones.
No, my last one wasn't new. My last one was in 2009.
That's relatively new.
Your bike was gushing fork oil that we had to take care of.
That was
See?
my
See?
fault.
I said oil. I didn't say where it came from.
Okay, just to clarify, it had been over 2 years, and the entrance to my townhouse.
It's pretty aggressive.
Yes, is like running the Baja 1000. And
You should see him. He stands up on the pegs. and
every
takes
day,
it.
yeah, a lot of times I do stand up and pegs to pull in. Every day, every day that I ride, I'll at least hit it twice. So on days that I'm not working, if I'm riding, I might hit it 4, 6, 8 times in a day going back and forth to home. So I also don't tend to be one to like swerve.
You just hit it.
Like, oh, there's a little pothole. I've gotten lucky. So
See many broken rims in the future.
Yeah. Hope you haven't tired more on that.
I don't. It wouldn't matter anyways. It'd be expired by now. So, but anyways, so I want to quickly touch base on some of the stuff that we've got working on, and then we're actually going to play a game. Don't worry, we'll help you with the game, because I know you have a lot of knowledge when it comes to Harleys, but not necessarily other stuff. You're going to have fun with this game.
Another model quiz? Great.
Yeah.
It's not a quiz; it's a game.
Okay.
So, anyways, we've got a lot of stuff we're working on right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. I know there's stuff that I've pushed Sean to do. Some of it has happened. Some of it has not happened. You're on that same page. Fortunately, we have an employee now, Sammy, that's building a Pan America. That's going to be wicked awesome. And that's just one of those things where it's like, you're doing stuff that hardly anyone's going to do to a Pan America in the first place anyways. So, but can you kind of speak on what we're doing? I know we've done several 131s and other stuff.
Yeah, so we have the Pan America build, and this is going to be, no holds barred. We're going to go all the way. This
Oh
is
yeah,
gonna
it's in
be-
pieces right now.
Yeah.
What direction are you guys taking that build?
Well, the subframe is not going to be factory color.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got the bike stripped down.
Because I don't think I've seen that one in the
The
back.
whole bike's going to be repainted. I know the subframe's going different color.
We've got repainting happening. We're powder coating subframe and other elements. We're going for.
Is it going for that look of that one that's on your computer?
I like that,
I like that
I
too.
like that a lot.
I like that a lot too.
What we're trying to do.
I don't think he's ever going off road with that thing.
I agree.
So what we're saying is he needs 17s front and rear
Yeah.
instead of sport bike tires. We're going
Like-
super hooligan
Yeah.
Okay.
Pan America. So basically, hyper motard Pan America, whatever, however
Yeah.
you want to reference it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can see.
but at the end, we don't want to step back because this happens all the time with builds. You stand back and you're like, dang, we should have done this. We should have done that. Like, we're really going to put it together from the beginning to just cover everything. And,
Yeah.
you know, we're going to spend as much money as it takes to make the thing
Hey, as long as you're not writing the check, it doesn't matter,
wild.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the same gentleman recently picked up a Dyna
Okay.
and now has a slew of carbon fiber parts laid across Teresa's office.
Yeah, we got
For that
carbon
Dyna.
fiber fairing and carbon fiber bars, believe it or not. We got a dash. We're going to have that bike
A
repainted.
horn.
A horn cover. We'll do T-bars. We'll do a club style bike on that as well.
Okay.
So I think the most exciting thing that I have going on, and it's not really going on yet, but it's all in the works, is our push for dyno tuning. We have one guy here who does it. We have a dyno tune, room, but he really doesn't enjoy that job of dyno tuning.
That's unfortunate.
And you need to, right? And
Well, he really likes turning wrenches, and he's really good at turning wrenches.
yeah, and it's just kind of the dreaded job when he sees that on his schedule. I don't want to do that to people. I like to cultivate and,
Yeah.
let me give you something that you really enjoy and can thrive at. Like, I have a guy back there that loves to work on the thing that nobody else wants to work on. Like, he loves the crazy, weird puzzle, whereas all the other technicians are like, "Arr!" I'm gonna lose all my money. Anyways, so we're sending several of our technicians to dyno training school in Florida, and they're all really excited about it. They've wanted to do it for a while. So we're gonna get them trained up. We'll tune up our dyno tuning room, and we'll start pushing performance runs on there. Come down
Okay.
and for $55 we can do a one pass run, and then give you your printout, and then we can talk about, maybe you just want to know what you're putting out.
Absolutely. I think that would be a big hit with customers,
I think
advertising that.
we need to find some money in the budget somewhere to almost do like a permanent mounts for GoPros.
So
in there.
that's the plan. We're gonna have the screen that's in the service write-up area. When you have your bike in there, you'll have an option to stand and watch the screen, so you can see what's happening.
That'd
We're
be
gonna
cool.
have a leaderboard, horsepower club, and all that stuff. So
Well, I would definitely like.
Do a Dyno Days event.
I've got
Yeah.
a little bit of a dead spot in mine, but for the most part, what is done to mine is extremely popular. A lot of people have done it, and the numbers that people say are kind of seem to be all over the place. I would still love to be able to get mine in there, get the full tune out and everything done, and kind of see realistically where it's at, because 3 of those techs have wrote it and said that seems like it's putting out a lot more than what it says on paper. So, but it's never actually been.
stay
Put on
tuned,
paper.
Marcus, because I'm gonna have some guys that are gonna come back from Florida and they're gonna be ready to go. So
I'm ready for that.
And at that point in time, we'll have some motor build specials.
Yeah.
So if you do want to do some performance work to your bike, you can do that after you run. So it's fun. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little bit easier if you're doing motor work like that, where you're going for performance, having that dyno open, having somebody that wants to be in there and work with somebody, make sure you get all the kinks ironed out, because you can just throw parts at something and it still won't work right.
Yeah.
But getting in there,
It's very, very exciting. You know what else is very exciting? I want you to tell the world, because I tell them all the time and they don't listen. Sean doesn't. T-bars go on street glides.
T-bars go on street glides. Mid controls go on street glides. Yeah,
I haven't dropped the ball on the mid control, but I can't run a mid control with my exhaust.
with your exhaust. You are
And
limited with what you
I
can do.
really, really like my exhaust.
that's going to be a build.
Because I
I'm gonna have
have
to push.
I have equal length headers on my exhaust, so I don't want to so it helps with the scavenging. So I don't want to change my exhaust, but I can get a different floorboard, which will give me more of a mid control type feel.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I tell people, and there's been so many people I've let ride my bike, and they're like, "Holy cow, T-bars on a street glide!"
It's such a defensive riding position.
Yeah.
I just put 9.5 risers on my Heritage, and I shit it on Tyler.
I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm going to be honest. It's
Yeah, but you should have rode my street glide when I had 14-inch polyaphies on there, and then like turn or like if we had one with some tall apes, ride it, turn right around and ride mine with the T-bars, and you will see the difference, like how solid you feel, how planted it is going into the corners and stuff like that. It's like it feels, it has more of a controlled feel. I guess because you don't have all that flex. I had 14-inch polyaphy bars on mine.
Woo! Did you go?
And then the powder coat started chipping. So
I put apes on the KZ just for you.
okay, I put a set of clubmans on your KZ.
Oh, don't do that.
I'd like to build a couple deluxes. I don't know how they would do around here.
They probably
No.
Oh, Cholo?
Cholo.
They
Cholo
probably
sells
do better
around
than
here.
you think.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Yeah, Cholo style sells around here. I mean, we have several customers that roll in the parking lot of that.
Yeah.
It's just some of our customers, like for around in this area, a Cholo build to them is pretty much either rear air or lowered with your fishtails, apes, and like 1821, and that's it. They don't go into doing the engraving
Wheels
and well, no, they'll change the wheels, but it'll still be like just your basic like a 51 fat spoke or something like that. But like you have the guys that they'll have the full bars engraved. They'll have their rims engraved.
So
But,
I did one like that when I was in California. Remind me later to show you pictures. It is so bad.
It's cool. Like I said, it's cool. I had a Cholo bike that I traded for the street glide. But yeah, I think it's just the people around here. I'm proud to say that I had a Cholo bike in Tennessee in like 2014.
Ahead of the curve.
Wow.
Look at
Look
me.
at you go.
And then when
I know, can't you tell? Like,
and then when I saw they were turning
personality.
Mayans into a TV show, I immediately sold my Cholo bike and bought a street glide. It's like I don't want to be part of this Me Too movement.
Oh man.
I am thinking about getting a custom license plate for my bike though that says Me Too.
God.
It's time for my tag removal. I just think that'd be great. I've got a black street glide.
I have a feeling that one's probably already taken.
I don't know about for motorcycle tags. Cash was already taken. So, anyways, Daniel, pull out the poker chips.
Oh my goodness.
It is time to play a game. Okay, so I'm going to run down this game with you real quick, the rules of it, so you kind of understand what we're doing. Okay, you know the game Screw, Marry, Kill?
Yeah.
We're playing Screw, Marry, Kill, but it's called Chop, Ride, Sell. So you have to customize one, ride one, sell one.
Okay.
Simple enough.
If you can Google image the bikes, and if you can't tell what it says, we'll tell you what it says.
Okay.
You want to grab?
Just grab 3 poker chips.
Okay.
There you go.
You know what that is.
What is this?
What does it say?
OCC?
Yeah. So you know what that is, right?
Oh.
Orange County Choppers.
Oh God.
So Trail 125, that is a new Honda scooter. 125 runs the same motor that comes in a Grum or a Monkey. And a Ural is those, they look like old German sidecars, but they're modern motorcycles.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's see what we have.
Oh, wow.
Going on here.
Oh, this one's easy.
Boy, I was running all Harley for a second there.
So chop, customize.
So chop means you have to customize. Chop is customize.
Okay, so chop it?
It just goes better.
Okay.
Okay, tell us the 3 that you got.
The Honda Trail 125.
Okay.
The Orange County Chopper and the
Ural.
Ural.
The Ural looks like an old German motorcycle with a sidecar.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to look it up real quick?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it real quick.
Okay,
They're really
while you're
cool. They're 2-wheel drive.
Yes.
But what are my 3?
So you have chop it, so customize, ride, or sell.
Okay.
So watch this, Daniel. What's your 3?
So I have a Triumph Bonneville, a KLR, and a VTX 1300.
All right.
I'm not going to get much money for it, but I'm going to sell the VTX 1300.
Really?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
I am going to just ride the Triumph Bonneville,
Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess
And-
you're going to build out the KLR.
and I'm going to build out the KLR, put
no
better
rear suspension.
Yeah, actually do rear suspension so my fat ass can sit on it, not bottom it out.
Yeah, because that's the very first thing you're going to do. You looking up a urinal? That's a urinal right there.
Yeah.
Like, it's a urinal.
Urinal.
Yeah, it's a cake that goes in the toilet.
I was at.
They're a 2-wheel drive, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
There's
the
a
side-
drive shaft that runs from the rear wheel to the sidecar.
It's selectable. There's a little lever in between them that you pick up and you get that second wheel to spin as well.
Sell the Orange County Chopper.
All right.
Doesn't matter which one it is. All of them. Just sell it.
I would ride the Trail 125.
Okay.
And I say customize the Ural just because I want to keep that thing, right? Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can do that. Well, he had it once before, I think, and you were like, I'm going to put a machine gun on the
Yeah,
sidecar.
just play with it.
Make it
Do
look like an
whatever.
old
Like,
World War II
that
bike.
looks like it needs to sit in my living room. And I think I'm going to do that. Well, no, I'm not even going to say that. Sean will keep me say that.
Sean
So I
don't
wanted
care.
to put my Scrambler that I bought, the 09 Sportster,
Yeah.
in my living room because, but
Why not?
Yeah.
I have a KTM 390 Duke sitting in my living room right now.
that I could get in my apartment pretty easy.
So, I have 2 Harleys. Let's see if you know what either one of them are. I've got a J model. You don't know what that is, do you? I've got a Sprint. You know what that is?
Yes.
And I got an Africa Twin.
Africa Twin.
It's a Honda.
Okay.
I'm actually going to sell that Sprint.
Somebody will want it.
So I'm going to modify this Africa Twin. Since Sean won't give me a Pan America and I was just given an Africa Twin, I can go ride this Africa Twin. So, the usual full skid plates,
Yeah.
lighting, Harley engine. And that J model is going to be a collector's item. It's already a collector's
Oh, yeah.
item.
Absolutely.
So, did you just look up
Yeah.
what a J model was?
It's a little.
So it's going to sit in the living room.
Are you going to hang it from the ceiling like we did here?
No, I'm going to let it sit so I can take it out every once in a while and run it.
Go get an
It'd be
ice
too
cream.
much work if it's a go get an ice
Go
cream.
get an ice cream on your J model.
So
I'd like to see you hang a bike from the ceiling of your rented townhome.
Yeah.
the ceilings aren't tall enough to hang anything from.
That's what you think.
Well,
we can
on the stairs.
We can
like
do it.
It goes up right there on the stairs.
we can do it.
We're going to hang it completely sideways.
Yes.
Dude, we got 8-foot ceilings, like almost 6.5 feet tall.
Well, just duck. I don't
Making
live there.
things
That's your
complicated.
problem.
Anyways.
That's like a you problem.
Say bye, sweet thing.
Bye, sweet thing.
Hey everybody, this is Sean at White Lightning Harley Davidson. I want to thank you for listening to the Daily Biker Podcast. You can reach the podcast on Facebook or Instagram at The Daily Biker, or you can email the podcast at thedailybiker@gmail.com. Be sure to keep an eye on White Lightning Harley Davidson social media pages for the most up-to-date information on all our events and where you can find the boys.